Is NATO dying, or just evolving into something unrecognizable? There's been no grand announcement, no farewell speech, but something is shifting. Across Europe, the US presence feels lighter. Troops are being redeployed, budgets are changing, and Washington's message under President Trump is blunt. We'll help those who help themselves. For frontline countries like Poland and Estonia, that shift is seismic. If the US refocuses on Asia, what happens to Europe's old security map? April 2025. Strasbourg. President Emmanuel Macron steps up. Calm voice, serious message. Europe must be ready to defend itself, even without the United States. Then came the shocker. France is ready to extend its nuclear protection across Europe. Nearly 300 warheads, submarines, aircraft, command systems, all now potentially shared. This wasn't about abandoning NATO. It was about preparing for a world where Europe carries more weight. And others are stepping up. May 2025, France and Poland signed the Treaty of Nancy, a deep defense pact covering joint training, arms development, and a dialogue about nuclear protection. Poland's prime minister summed it up. We're not turning away from anyone. We're preparing for every scenario. That one line echoed through Berlin, Rome, Vilnius. Even Poland, America's closest European partner, is building a backup plan. And where is Germany? Still Europe's biggest economy, still NATO's second largest backer, but now largely silent. Why? Because Germany is divided. Some want EU defense. Others fear alienating the US, and many Germans still shy away from anything nuclear. Just 32% support Macron's nuclear umbrella idea. That's not weakness, it's identity. Germany became a power by avoiding one. But if France leads and Poland joins, and Germany hesitates, Europe's center of gravity could shift. And while leaders talk, action is already underway. Defense budgets are rising. Sweden just approved its biggest military spend ever. Finland's accelerating drills and missiles. Italy, Romania, and Czechia are building new regional supply chains without waiting for Brussels or Washington. Even neutral Austria is debating conscription. It's not about ditching NATO. It's about building Plan B. Meanwhile, Moscow is watching and moving. Snap Russian military drills from Kaliningrad to Belarus. Joint naval drills with China in the Mediterranean. Clear message, we see you. And if Europe builds something new, Russia will test it fast. On paper, NATO is fine. 32 members, joint ops, shared defense clause. But behind closed doors, stress is building. The US is committed, but distracted. Some NATO members still see US troops as irreplaceable. Others, like France, want Europe to act on its own. This isn't rebellion, it's realignment. But NATO isn't designed for split command. If Europe builds too far outside it, the alliance risks fragmentation. As one official put it, NATO doesn't break with gunfire, it breaks with confusion. Washington hasn't walked away, but its priorities are clear. Indo-Pacific comes first. More warships to Asia, more ties with India, Japan, Philippines. At home, focus is on rebuilding and domestic politics. Trump's second term brings strategic clarity. Europe is strong, Asia is the challenge. So the message is simple. We're here, but you'll have to lead more. That's not betrayal, that's triage. And Europe is responding. Discussions are underway for a permanent European military command. Not a NATO replacement, but an autonomous fallback. Independent rapid response units. EU-wide logistics. Shared intelligence. The goal? Strategic autonomy. Not to cut ties, but to stay ready if US politics shift again. France, Italy, Spain, even the Netherlands support the idea. Germany's cautious, but not opposing. For the first time since World War II, Europe could gain full operational control of its defense. That would reshape its mindset, from dependency to preparedness. And in Washington, some welcome it, quietly. Meanwhile, China is watching closely. State media calls it proof of waning US power. Beijing thrives on distraction. And if Washington is busy in Europe, it gives China space in Asia. That's why China is ramping up drills with Russia, deepening Gulf and Pakistan ties, and using rare earths to pressure Europe's tech firms. One Chinese general said, "Every alliance has a breaking point. We'll find NATO's." India's view? Split. Some want a less US-dominated world. Others fear a weak West could embolden China. India's boosting US ties, but also preparing to stand alone. As Europe builds autonomy, Asia prepares for a vacuum. And defense isn't just about missiles now, it's about industries. Europe is investing in AI logistics, homegrown drones, and local arms hubs. Defense is no longer a cost, it's a foundation for sovereignty. US defense firms are trying to stay relevant, but if Europe fully decouples, billions in contracts and geopolitical influence could vanish. Even wind turbines and chip fabs are now tied to security planning. Which brings us to the question, is NATO dying? It was built in 1949 for a bipolar world. Today's world is multipolar, fast-changing, and deeply interlinked. The US is stretched. Europe is waking up. France's nuclear offer, Poland's new treaty, Germany's hesitation, and the US pivot to Asia, none of it spells collapse. But it does spell transformation. Maybe NATO's evolution is its success. Maybe it's the start of a split. Either way, Europe is no longer asking if, it's preparing for when. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.